Hi, my name is Manda and today I'll give you a walkthrough of my live looping gear, including Pro Tools, the BOSS RC-202 and the Arturia minilab. Welcome back, my beautiful Ambience family. It is so very nice to see you here again. If you are new to this channel, my name is Manda and I'm an Ambience music producer and live looping artist. Here on my channel you can find tutorials and reviews and live looping videos and glimpses of my work in music production in Pro Tools. I just love music. If you feel like you're vibing with me or my content, or both, subscribe to my channel. It'll be fun, I promise. So, today's video was actually created because some of you guys reached out to me on Instagram and requested a video about my gear and how I set things up, how everything is connected, and some things just to think about when you get started with live looping. Myself had actually a very hard time in the beginning, finding great advice for, my kind of setup, like this minimalistic setup together with Pro Tools. Let's just say that I've spent many hours on my own trying to figure out stuff, making mistakes. That's how you learn. So make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you'd like, and let's move on. Okay, so now before you run off and buy yourself a new computer, MacBook, 3 different MIDI controllers, just ask yourself these questions first. What do you want to do? Are you a live performer? Do you play around with pedals in your bedroom? Do you need to record your looping performance or not? This will determine what gear and setup works best for you. Every setup is always unique to every artist. My setup might not be your perfect setup. Just have that in mind. I use Pro Tools. I guess you could say that I'm pretty comfortable in this DAW. There's still a lot to learn though. For live looping artists, there are several options, but I find that Ableton is very sharp competition, if not even a better choice for specifically live looping. The reason is that Ableton is basically made for looping. So the whole DAW suits the purpose, and that is also why you can find a lot of videos of artists live looping in Ableton. If I was just starting out, I'd probably go for it. But if you already work in Pro Tools like me, or are thinking about doing that, this is the video for you. And at the end of the day, the gear and connections and the general idea of live looping is basically the same, regardless of what DAW you're using. In music production, the computer is your most important piece of gear. I'd rather have an awesome computer and a cheaper MIDI controller than the other way around. I'd say that music producer today, we have a huge advantage because we don't need that super expensive and a lot of gear to being able to create music. Instead, prioritize your money onto the gear that you're actually going to need and that's going to suit a purpose. Right now, I use a MacBook Pro 2016, but you might as well work with a PC. There are awesome competition for this today. A laptop is great to me, since I like to move around and being able to bring it with me. If you want a reliable computer, especially for live performances, this is the absolute minimum of working capacity that you will need. First of all, your processor is everything. You want a CPU around 2 GHz and at least an i7 quad-core processor. If you're watching this 2 years in the future, well, an i7 is pretty much outdated. Aim for at least 8 GB of RAM, 250 GB of internal storage, and 500 GB of external storage. In music production, you're really not using the internal storage that much, and you don't want to, since it only slows your computer down. Also, it's nice to always have a backup drive if something were to happen. My external hard drive is connected with Thunderbolt into my laptop, and this is where I store everything important. My Pro FX interface is connected with USB into my computer. You see this left and right stereo cable? This is connected in the output of the loop station. And this goes all the way to my interface and is connected in the left and right line-in input. Now the sound is traveling into the interface and into my DAW so that I can record my looping. There is an alternative to this. You could skip the interface completely and use a handy recorder like a Zoom or a Tascam instead, which I'm thinking of buying, by the way, because it's a way easier setup on the go. In that case, you can connect the output signal of the looper directly into the handy recorder. The mic and instrument of your choice is connected with an XLR cable and a 1/4-inch instrument cable into the jacks of the back of the looper. Any external instruments, like my Arturia minilab, is connected directly into the laptop with USB. You cannot connect a MIDI controller directly into the looper because it has no internal sound bank. You have to connect it to your laptop through your DAW and then send it out to your looper. Yeah, you're gonna need a lot of USB ports, so consider buying a USB docking station. Headphones goes into the headphone jack of the looper. If you want to send the output of your looper into something else, say your speakers on a stage, to a sound engineer or DI box or whatever, simply connect the left and right outputs into that instead. That, my friends, is my live looping setup. If you guys would like, I could definitely do a part 2 of this series explaining the software settings, both in the RC-202, the control center for the Arturia minilab, and in Pro Tools, how to set everything up and stuff like that. Just let me know in the comments below. Make sure to follow me on Instagram. I post content every week. I just love to talk with you guys, exchange experiences in music, even if you're just listening to music, creating music, or any other kind of artsy stuff. Please take care of yourself in every way possible. Stay positive. It's one of your most important assets in life, I think. Stay creative and stay curious. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. See you next time. Bye.